So today it's supposed to feel like 101 degrees today. So it's supposed to be a very hot day, trying to get as much done this morning as I can. I want to get this pasture, I want to get a fence set up on here so I can start grazing this grass down, because in about a month we're going to plant this in perennial pasture grass. Right now we've got kind of an annual, I don't even know what it is. It's just some random warm season grass that came up. Not necessarily what I want in my pasture permanently. So we're gonna be plowing this up in a month. So I might as well see if I get the animals to graze it down. So I'm gonna jump in the tractor and I'm gonna mow a path for the temporary electric fence with the brush hog. And then we'll rearrange some livestock. We'll get the sheep moved over. And then after that, I need to mark out where my fence is gonna go on the far side. And I need to call 811 and have them remark that side of the property so that I can drive fence posts later this week. And then I'm sure there's several other things that I can get done today as well. So let's get going. I've gained an audience. Everybody seems to think that it's their turn to move. Well, I was gonna try to move the ewes across the road over here, but these guys are being stubborn, so I think I'll just give this area to them for now. Just the easiest thing to do. There you go. There you go. Come on, Maya. Be the leader of the pack. Come on, girls. All right, I've got my flags and my marking paint, so I'm gonna head over to the west side and mark where that fence is gonna go. So back here are the pipes that I rust prevented 2 days ago. And you can see they look totally different. They've turned white. And any extra acid, that's what that rust converter is, that's left on the pipe combines with water. And we get a heavy dew overnight, and then when water and that mix, it turns into this white powder that you see on the pipes. And that's the thing I don't like about this rust converter. And it says that you're supposed to use like solvent to wipe it off. And honestly, I didn't have much luck with that, and anytime you try to wipe these pipes down, you're gonna get lint all over them. Even with like a lint-free rag, this pipe is not very smooth, and I'm gonna try pressure washing it off. It's already been rust converted. I'm gonna see if I can just wash it off with water. And if there is any more acid on there, that will neutralize it as well. So see if I can get these cleaned up. So here's the first 4 pipes that I just pressure washed. These are still drying, but you can tell the white powder is a lot better on there. It washed most of it off. And here's what it looks like on the pipes that I haven't done yet. You can see all of that white residue left on there. I think the pressure washing is gonna work. I just gotta go over all these pipes and get them cleaned up. Now I did pressure wash all these prior to putting the rust converter on, so anything loose on there would have been knocked off the first time. So what I'm doing now should only take off the powder part of it. And I just want to get it off there, get it cleaned up so I can finally get these painted. All right, I got all the pipes pressure washed off. I mean, they're not perfect. You can still see there's a little bit of that residue on the pipes, but they are way better than what they were when we started. I'm just gonna let these bake out here in the sun, and then here, like later this evening or tomorrow, I can start getting these painted. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put together a solar battery charger. I've got enough pieces here to put it together. I just need to wire it up. So I've got a few of these 200 watt panels. This is like major overkill. I think I only need like a 20 watt panel, but I've got this 200 watt one, and that's what I'm gonna end up using. And then I've got this Renogy Voyager charge controller. This is 100% waterproof. It's completely sealed. And I just need to get the panel, some wiring made up to fit to this, and then I can go take it out and charge a battery that's actually on one of my electric fences out there, and then it'll automatically charge every day, and I won't have to worry about remembering to get the battery and charge it up. So let's go ahead, we'll get some wire and we'll put this together. To wire up this charge controller, it just has some screw terminals here on the back, and this is a 20 amp charger. So I've got some 10 gauge wire. This is good for 30 amps. So this is what I'm going to use to run from the charger to the battery. All right, so we got the battery connections hooked up, so now I just need to make the solar panel wiring. So on the back of the solar panel, it has MC4 connectors. This is the typical waterproof connection that's on a residential solar panel. And I'm gonna put a couple connectors on this PV wire. You gotta have a special crimp tool, you gotta have the connectors, and luckily I have both of those things. And then on the other end, I'm just gonna put some regular fork terminals, and that'll put it to the charge controller. And then everything's put together, I can just take it to the field. I always like to pull on them and make sure I can't get them to come off, and then you know it's good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of red tape around the wire that's the positive wire for the solar panel. And I will do that to each end. You can see I've got all 4 wires landed on the charge controller, so we're ready to go. We'll take it and the solar panel and we'll get it hooked up. Well, I ended up changing my mind. I've got this EcoFlow portable solar panel. This is way easier to carry around. I'll set that up out there for now. So my idea is to keep this inside of this battery box if I can. We will see. May not work. Well, it's not the perfect setup, but we got our solar panel here connected to the charge controller here on the battery. So if we look at the charge controller, it says it's 12.9 volts and it's charging about 4.4 amps. So it's getting the battery charged up. We can get our fence charger hooked back up here. And we'll see if I can put the lid over the top of everything. It's pretty tight. I don't think it necessarily wants to stay on there, but I'll leave it just like that. So it is a little cobbled together. It's not ideal, but it will charge up the battery. It'll keep it charged for now. I'm gonna try to order a smaller solar panel, one that's more properly sized for a fence charger like this. Doesn't have to be very big. And I'll try, once I get it, I can mount it and get everything hooked up a little bit more permanently. So the other day I hit this post with the bucket of the tractor and knocked a piece of it off. Somebody suggested I just tack it back up there. And I've had a few suggestions on how to attach it actually. So I think what we will go ahead and put it back on just to make everything look nice. And I've got some screws, but then I've also got some of this Gorilla Glue, which is 100% waterproof glue. So I think the combination between the two, that this will stay on here and look okay. I just got to get it to made up here and seat properly here. Go ahead and get a little Gorilla Glue on the backhand side here. Probably way more than I need. Use my Milwaukee hammer. Is this a hammer drill? That's a bad joke. Oop. Well, it's back on. Probably people won't notice it unless they know about it. Hello, boys and girls. You guys liking this new area? Well, we got our pregnancy test back from Maya, and she's not pregnant. Yep, so the AI didn't work. We knew there was, you know, it's not 100% successful thing, but it was worth trying. So she's not pregnant. And then Ellie, the other day we saw her in heat, and all of these boys following her around. So needless to say, both of our dairy heifers are not pregnant. So I'm trying to get Rebecca to really consider maybe getting a bull, maybe like a young bull, and just have it long enough to get these guys pregnant, and then you know, maybe for 6 months or a year, and then get rid of it. I don't know. We're trying to figure out what to do here. And another thing is now that we got this 12 acres here in the front, of course, we have more area than we have animals now. So we basically just added like 5 times the amount of pasture that we had before. So probably looking at maybe getting some heifers that are beef heifers also. And that would make more sense, you know, when we to either possibly be able to rent a bull or be able to get one and keep like 5 or 6 heifers here. We'll just wait and see what we end up doing. But we'll try again, I think, here in something, either AI or a bull, probably in the winter time, and then that would be a fall calf next year. I think we're basically gonna just stop for the summer and try again this winter and see if we can maybe finally get some calves. We'll just wait and see. Well, I got a car coming down the driveway. Pretty sure it's Rebecca, and she's home like 45 minutes early today. That's kind of odd. You're home early.
Yeah, I got off a little early.
Yeah, a little slow today at work. Yeah. You have a whole thing of peaches over there that they picked up. They're supposedly, I guess, good ones they put in the tote.
Well, work was wanting me to bring some more in, so.
I don't know. We probably need to bring it in, get it out of the sun. I don't know if we want it out of the sun or not. So the neighbors came over this morning and they picked from the orchard, but they also cleaned up the orchard as well. They ended up picking the fruit up off the ground, and they separated what was bad, and then things that they thought were good, they put in another tote. So there's the bad fruit, and then they've got this tote here that they filled full of what they thought was good fruit, or mostly good fruit. But yeah, the neighbors didn't have to do that. That was nice of them to do that, since I think that was like probably the third time they've come and picked from the orchard. So it's good to have good neighbors. So it's been 3 days now since we got rain, so it's time to start watering the garden again. I've been pumping pond water out to this tripod sprinkler, and it doesn't cover the entire garden, so I have to put it in like 3 different positions to get everything watered. So that, it really kind of irritates me, honestly. So I would like to be able to water everything all in one time. It would make it way simpler. So I ended up buying a bigger sprinkler. That's a 1/2-inch sprinkler. I ended up buying a 3/4 inch, and I also have a 1-inch sprinkler back there too. But I think my pond sprinkler pump, I think this is probably the maximum it can support. And I made an adapter for it, so it can mount to this same tripod. So I'm going to switch this out, and we're going to start up the sprinkler pump and see if we can get this to water the entire garden at one time. So look at the size difference between these 2 sprinkler heads. And this one, of course, has got bigger ports and 2 of them, so it really should put out a lot more water. I guess the question is, will it shoot it far enough? It's really distance, I guess, that I'm looking for. So this may actually not be the fix for my problem. It's probably been like, I don't know, 10 to 14 days since I used this last. So we'll see if it starts right up. See if it held its prime. Oh, nope, nothing. Looks like we're gonna have to reprime it. I do have a check valve down there in the water. It should keep the water in it, but it didn't. Ah, I see water. Going now. All right, new sprinkler's going. That one does a shorter pattern. This one does the longer pattern. Well, that worked. It gets all of the raised beds around the perimeter, even in the corners. That was my trouble, was getting it to reach these corners. And the raised beds are what really needs watered the most, because they dry out. And this sprinkler at least is hitting the entire garden in one path. So hopefully we'll give it a couple hours and hopefully everything's watered pretty good. So today was I think a mishmash of everything. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just things that needed to be done, things that needed attention. Nothing big today, just the odd jobs, the stuff that normally I probably wouldn't even film. To be honest with you, this is kind of like the daily routine. I guess it's not a routine. The daily thing is just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little odds and ends, a mixture of everything. Because there's always 20 little jobs that you need to do. Sometimes you hate to start them and you put them off, you procrastinate. But that's kind of the daily thing around here. It's always a mixture, a variety.
And I think that's what makes it interesting myself. I'm one of those people that have to stay busy, and I feel like I have to accomplish something every day. And I think that's a curse in a way. Like I have a hard time probably relaxing and enjoying myself because I have to get out there and get something done. And this lifestyle fits that. It fits it perfectly for me. It keeps me busy. There's always something to do. The only thing I don't like about it is this hot weather. It is just miserable out here. That's probably the only downside to it. When it turns fall and winter, it's way better. It's way better out here working, that's for sure. But that's what today was. Today was kind of the normal oddball stuff that you just got to deal with around here. But I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to go inside and cool down and take a shower and call it a night. So hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.